was sweet for bitter, and bitter for sweet, light for darkness, and darkness for light. Those of us that are a little bit older, we can see that that is a dream. But now what we know is provably light is referred to as wrong. And you can't miss it anymore now. And we're not talking about just a little bit off here, we're talking about the very opposite of what God designed to do. We, that is the church collectively, and us individually as members of the Lord's church, since in the kingdom, we have to stand for sound doctrine. That word sound is a pretty interesting word. It doesn't have anything to do with making noise. It has to do with healthy doctrine. And doctrine, of course, is just a fancy word for teaching. Some people like, when I first moved back to Dunlap after preaching up in Smith County for 8 years, or a bunch of those guys that I used to run around with said, your problem is you talk about doctrine all the time. I said, you mean like the doctrine of Christ? See, John even warns us in 2 John verse 9, whosoever transgresseth and abideth not in the doctrine of Christ. That's like that. He abides in the doctrine. That's both the Father and the Son. He ain't going to and bring not this doctrine, receiving not in the house, didn't read God's feet. For he that did in God's feet is a partaker of his evil deeds. Sounds like to me, John wanted us to know that the doctrine of Christ was very important. The teaching of Christ was very important. It's the same thing as the apostles' doctrine in Acts chapter 14. Now, when they Pentecost, they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine. That was the teaching that the apostles were making known. Where did it come from? What is God's doctrine? It's the doctrine of Christ. It's the truth. It's the gospel. It's sound doctrine. And here's the problem. And just about every problem that exists among brethren is due to this flaw in our thinking. We mentioned a few minutes ago from Matthew chapter 16, where Jesus promised to build his church. It's his. It's singular in nature. And he promised to give the keys of the kingdom to people. And we know from Matthew chapter 18 and verse 18, that was a promise that was given to all the apostles. In other words, those things were being revealed by the apostles of the day of Pentecost and followers. Those were matters that had already been determined in heaven. And then he makes a statement this way: whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall have already been bound in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall have already been loosed in heaven. In other words, what they're making known is already been decided to God. It's simply coming out from these inspired men who are letting us know. We know what God had on his mind because God told us what he had on his mind. A good long discussion of 1 Corinthians chapter 2 is coming here tonight. We know what God thinks, but until he tells us what he thinks, we can't know what he's saying, what he's thinking. Now, there are some people who think that they can go ahead and say what somebody else is thinking. If you've been married more than a few weeks, then you probably think you know what your husband's thinking. No, you don't. You might guess and get sort of right from time to time, but there's many times you better not even try to think what he's thinking. Honey, I look fat in this dress, don't ever ask my husband that. What do you think about this blue pair of shoes they've got? You really want to know? Don't ask the question. Some people think they know what other people are thinking. The only way we know what other people are thinking is they tell us. And God has told us what he had on his mind. It's through inspired men that we know what God had on his mind. So here's the problem. Identified by Jesus here are two different sets of matters. There are matters that are bound, and there are matters that are loose. That means there are some matters that are obligatory, that is, they're required, and there are some things that are matters of preference. Maybe even sometimes matters of conscience. Now, the problem oftentimes arises when we fail to recognize in which category the ideas we have actually fit. You see, if I look at a matter that is bound by God, and I say, well, you know, I don't think that's really required at all. If you want to believe that, that's fine, but it's for me in our house, we're going to believe something. You can't do that. If it's a bound matter, it's a bound matter. If If we are required by explicit statement and example to eat the Lord's Supper on every first day of the week, then we don't have the right to say, well, it means more and it means more if you don't take it before someone. Or once a year. Or maybe at a wedding on Saturday, Sunday. No, we don't have that right. That is a matter that's final. But what time are we going to meet on Sunday? To eat the Lord's Supper. Where's the book, chapter, and verse that tells us we got to meet at 10 or 9 or 8:30? It's not that. So there's a matter that's loose. How are we going to go into all the world and preach the gospel of preaching? Do we have to ride a horse? A buggy? A ship? Or is it left up to us to make good judgments as to the most expedient way to do that which is we are authorized to do? We find the most expedient way. So it'll be pretty hard to walk on the way to Moscow. So we have to recognize the distinction between the two. If we treat a matter that is bound as if it is loose, or we treat a matter that is loose as if it is bound, then we end up binding what God hasn't and causing division. And if we lose what God hasn't loose, then we end up causing division as well. It's sort of hard to all of us stand for sound doctrine, healthy doctrine, doctrine that leads to the salvation of many souls, if we cannot even agree on the doctrine. Now we can't. We're required to. And God does not expect anything out of anybody that they do not have the ability to do. Somebody said, I just can't lead singing. Well, you may not be able to lead singing like this brother and I. Maybe there's something else you can do better than. Maybe you can play a prettier part than him. Maybe you're a more likable person at the back door and inviting people in. There's something that all of us can do. And God does not expect us to do something that we cannot do. Never have. He simply wants us to do what we have the ability to do, and He promises us He will bless us with the ability to do more. If we're faithful over small things, then and only then can we demonstrate our faithfulness over large. Let's be faithful. And part of our faithfulness must be in standing for sound, healthy, spiritually beneficial doctrine. It may be in our audience tonight, there's more and more that's going to go like that. Now, if it is the case that you're not in this collective we that we're talking about, there's absolutely no reason for any accountable human being to leave this building tonight and have lost a wisdom. None whatsoever. You've been blessed with an opportunity to hear a lesson from God's Word. We'll be willing to stay here as long as necessary to answer any questions you might have about this subject or any other. But once you determine that you believe that Jesus Christ is who He claimed to be, because He demonstrated Himself to be the very Son of God. If you're willing then to repent of your sins, that is to turn your back on the sinful life and do what Satan wants you to do, and maybe selfishly do yourself, and be willing to do what the Lord wants you to do, if you would make the good confession, made right here in Matthew chapter 16 by Peter himself, thou art Christ, the Son of the living God. The very same confession made by the Ethiopian eunuch in Acts chapter 8. I believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. Now you're in the position where you can be baptized in Christ. As that primary gospel obedience has been accomplished through being baptized in the death of Christ, you'll enjoy the forgiveness of your sins just like you did on Pentecost Day. And that plan will stay operative until the end of this world. Why not obey tonight? It may be in times past you did, but you're born away. Don't you think it's time to come back home? Start over. Repent of those things in which we lie. Freely confess it and we'll pray with you and for you that you will be free. If we can assist you anyway, let us know how. While we stand in the Lord. Pleasure, your silver and your gold, all the riches that this whole world can hold. Lord, rather have my Savior, and with Him firmly stand. Only meant to meet Him in the glory land. I want to be
tells you what year it was first. If you do that with hot wash, you'll see it'll start in liturgy, religiously. I'm afraid to say we've done that. Very glad that the king was really appreciate it. What do y'all say we have an early singing? Work that in here. Jason, start at 5 o'clock. I got the songs down on paper form. We have the slides, so we can just bring those things right into the center now. So we can break it down. 5 o'clock, we're going to talk about the album is Everlasting God. So we'll have that here and we can have 16 songs. That's good. 5 o'clock Sunday. Come see a call out or all of it.
The first and last verse, 865, and then we're dismissed. Oh, how sweet 'twill be to meet the Lord when He comes in glory by and by. What a song of praise will be outpoured when He comes in glory by and by. How sweet will be when He comes.
He was